Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Topping our news tonight, a double shooting in Bradenton happening early Saturday morning. Manatee County Sheriff's deputies are still looking for 3 to 4 people possibly involved in those killings. This all comes less than 48 hours after investigating another double homicide out on Longboat Key. Detectives believe these victims were targeted. ABC 7's Erica Jackson helps explain how the incident may be related to another death investigation happening in Sarasota.
Both Manatee County Sheriff's deputies and Sarasota police are investigating 3 deaths they believe could be connected. 2 bodies were found inside of this home in Bayshore Gardens and another found on the side of the road in Sarasota.
Lived here 40 years and this is just nuts. Absolutely nuts. I've never seen this many cops in all my life.
Paul Hennessy says this neighborhood in Bayshore Gardens is usually quiet.
You hear about Bayshore Gardens turning into a crime-ridden area, and it's not. It really isn't. That's across 41.
But patrol cars and investigators lined Harvard Avenue on Saturday.
I saw the sheriff's department down there and I knew that it was probably going to be bad news.
The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is still looking for the suspects of a shooting hours after it happened around 4 a.m. A 25-year-old woman living in this home told deputies she was approached by 3 to 4 suspects. She was forced into a bedroom inside the home where she heard yelling and gunshots from outside the door. She escaped and called 911. Deputies arrived to find 2 men dead inside the home.
There were 2 individuals that came to the residence after the female was in there that are not the bad guys.
Santiago Herrera says he saw a man running through his neighbor's yard minutes after the shooting.
When I seen the guy coming over, jumped the fence, and then when I jumped at my fence, he was looking out there and he was scared, real scared, the poor guy. Then the next thing I knew, all kind of police cars are here.
Another body was found in Sarasota just a few hours later off Bay Vista Street. Sarasota police don't believe the public is in danger, but they're investigating a possible connection to the homicides in Bayshore Gardens.
There's too much hate in the world, and it's too easy for people to just pop a cap on somebody when they get mad.
While there may be a connection between the deaths in Sarasota and Bayshore Gardens, the sheriff's office tells us there is no connection to Friday's double homicide on Longboat Key. Reporting in Bayshore Gardens, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
And one of the Bradenton victims has now been identified as 23-year-old Rodney Williams from Tampa. Investigators say he was the boyfriend of the woman living in the home. Also, the body found in Sarasota has been identified as 31-year-old Andre Bryant. And remember, for the fastest updates on the investigations into crime stories like these, you can download our My Suncoast app. You'll get breaking news, traffic alerts, and other important updates and weather forecasts delivered directly to your phone. Meanwhile, the Suncoast still reeling from the tragic death of Snooty the manatee, who passed away less than 2 weeks ago. Animal rights protesters taking to the South Florida Museum on Saturday, which was the home to the iconic 69-year-old sea cow, and they are calling for a change in staff. An investigation found that Snooty drowned when he became stuck in a 30 by 30-inch tunnel used to access plumbing for his tank, a passage usually blocked by an access panel that is bolted shut. Protesters call this incident negligence by museum employees.
I understand there are 3 other manatees in possession of this museum, and we would like to see the protocol for the future care and safety of these manatees.
We are speaking on behalf of people all over the world. I've been contacted by people outside of Florida, outside of the United States, who want us to speak for Snooty since he cannot speak for himself.
The South Florida Museum is currently conducting an internal investigation following the death of Snooty with the help of a third party. In response to today's demonstration, the museum issued this statement saying no one is more committed to the well-being of manatees cared for at the South Florida Museum than our team members. Without the facts, it is not appropriate to speculate or make any allegations. When the review is complete and action steps are determined, the museum is committed to sharing the information publicly. Well, now we head over to Steve Newman for a check on our local weather today. Steve, how's it looking out there?
Oh, we've had some thunder and lightning in the area. A little sea breeze front developed about 2 o'clock this afternoon and just had thunderstorms burst up. You can see them develop there. We also had some storms well offshore that looked very intense for a while. You can see them bubbling up there, but as they approach the coast, they also have dissipated. So maybe a quiet night. We could have some thunderstorms blowing back our way later in the evening, but the storms offshore have ended, and the storms along that sea breeze front have also dissipated in the last couple of hours. I think it's going to be dry, but here's our RPM computer. No, this is the high-resolution futurecast, and look at these storms could blow back at us through the evening hours, and then overnight, light and variable winds with only scattered showers. Temperatures are going to remain very warm overnight. It's going to take a long time to cool off into the 70s, and our low overnight is probably going to be close to 77. Coming up in a few minutes, I'll have your complete tropical weather outlook. It's heating up down there, as well as our forecast for the next week here on the Sun Coast. Adam?
All right, thank you very much, Steve. Back to the Manatee County Sheriff's Office, who has identified a suspect involved in a different crime, a strong-armed robbery that happened in northwest Bradenton on Friday night. The victim told deputies that he saw a blond man with black shorts acting suspicious and took a photo of him. When he returned home and was confronted by the suspect, the two got into an altercation. Then that suspect fled on foot. The victim is still recovering from injuries. A firearm was found on the suspect. However, no charges have yet to be made, and the identity of that suspect has also been yet to be made to us. An update now on the Honduras trip turned nightmare. An American woman arrested and forced to remain abroad. ABC's Sherry Preston has those details.
Amanda LaRoque traveled to Honduras on an investment trip that turned into a nightmare. And all came to an end on Friday when the North Carolina resident was able to make this phone call to her mother.
I just missed everything. So I'm just waiting on the paperwork.
I am so happy, Mandy. I am so happy for you. Are they going to let you leave?
Well, I'm waiting on the paperwork because I want copies of everything to bring back to the United States with me. And then they didn't even bring my passport here, so my attorney's got to go pick up my passport.
Amanda's husband, Brandon, recorded her walking into a Honduran courthouse and texted ABC station WTVD photos of Amanda inside. LaRoque was arrested for cocaine trafficking a week ago at Roatan Airport after authorities examined her can safe, like this one that she used for hiding valuables while traveling. Airport police cut open the can, and when bits of lining fell out, they thought it might be cocaine or heroin. Once charges were dropped on Friday, Brandon went to the Honduran prosecutor's office to get his wife's passport, but it was 1 minute past closing. He was told the office is closed until Wednesday, so the LaRoques hope to catch a flight on Thursday. Amanda's attorneys say the prosecutor plans to file a motion to allow 5 more years to investigate whether the substance in the can safe could be used to make drugs. The goal? An international warrant to bring LaRoque back to Honduras.
I don't know what the purpose of this is. I mean, yeah, thank God Mandy's not in a jail cell, but I mean, she's a hostage in a foreign country.
Sherry Preston, ABC News, New York.
Back here at home, over 1,500 Sarasota County students will not be starting school without the necessary supplies, thanks to several volunteers who came out to the Boys and Girls Club of Sarasota on Saturday. Hundreds packing the club's gym to fill 1,600 backpacks with school supplies to be given out to at-risk children in our community. The Backpack Brigade is an annual initiative of the Tiny Hands Foundation, who also hosts the Teddy Bear Brigade for our local law enforcement.
To me, nothing's worse than to have a child go to school and have the child next to them have everything they need, and they don't have, the basic school supplies, the basic necessities. So we're very excited. This is my favorite initiative by far.
The Tiny Hands Foundation says their annual event has impacted around 45,000 children and families in the Manatee, DeSoto, and Sarasota County areas. Well, in the spirit of community, several Suncoast churches and professional services also working together to get needy children ready for school in a bit of a different way. St. Wilfrid's Episcopal Church in Sarasota was one of those churches, and today dozens of children were invited to go get free medical and dental checkups, vision and hearing exams, along with haircuts, a professional photo, and a backpack full of school supplies.
The way the kid starts the school year affects the whole school year. So if they feel confident and good about the first day of school, it'll help them do better the rest of the year.
32 churches and 38 schools on the Sun Coast are involved with that Days for Hope initiative. Well, still to come here on ABC 7, more homes at risk following the opening of that sinkhole in Florida, what crews are doing to prevent further damage. And the largest pet expo in Manatee County, what shelters are doing to reduce the numbers of animals in their local shelters.
Attention! Royal Seas Cruises has just announced their deal of the day, a $99 Caribbean cruise for 2 people. This amazing cruise deal to the Bahamas is only available to the first 500 callers who register in your area today. So get ready to write down this number and act fast. We know that the best type of traveler is a repeat guest, so we're offering this $99 Caribbean cruise to prove it. That's $99 per couple, including your stateroom, all your delicious meals, full spa, live entertainment, 3 kids clubs, and more. Come see why we were voted one of the top 10 best overall cruises by Cruise Critic. We're so sure you'll enjoy yourself and become a repeat customer that you're getting this deal of the day for the unbelievable low price of just $99 per couple. But you've got to act fast. Pick up the phone and be one of the first 500 callers to take the Caribbean cruise of a lifetime for just $99 per couple. Call right now or log on to royalcruisenow.com.
Call 800-906-0489.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Watch ABC 7 wherever you are. Just search ABC 7 on your streaming device to keep up with the Suncoast from the comfort of your couch. Download ABC 7 now to watch us on TV anytime you want. ABC 7, we're here for you wherever you are.
Military ships and aircrafts are combing the waters east of Australia, searching for 3 missing U.S. Marines. These soldiers went missing after their plane suffered what's being described as a mishap on Saturday. The MV-22 Osprey aircraft went into the water during training with Australian forces. 23 other service members who were on the airplane have been rescued. Australia's defense minister says his nation will be helping that search in any way it can. And an update now on the Florida sinkhole. Florida officials say a sinkhole that swallowed 2 homes last month is now growing. A large chunk of the hole's edge has collapsed, condemning 2 more homes in Land O'Lakes, a Tampa suburb. The sinkhole, which opened up in mid-July, is now about 260 feet wide. Dump trucks are scheduled to bring in boulders on Saturday to try and stabilize one side of that sinkhole so a small barge can be brought in. Authorities hope to create a boat ramp so they can work from the barge, which will float on the water in that sinkhole. Well, Manatee County's largest one-day adoption and pet expo is back, placing animals in needs, hopefully in a loving home with a new family. Manatee County Animal Services returning to host the event at the Bradenton Area Convention Center in Palmetto. The goal, to reduce the shelter's overpopulation. But it wasn't just Animal Services dogs and cats who were benefiting from this event.
In addition to Animal Services, we have about 12 other local rescues bring animals to the event. It's a great
way for us to outreach to the community and also share all of our resources with people who are interested in animals and pets.
We've seen every dog we'd like to take home, but we're only limited to one, so that's all we're willing to do.
Today's expo already exceeded the amount of animals adopted over last year, with an estimate of 50 animals who are now heading to a new home. And Steve, I think you and I can both attest, these dogs and cats, they don't love any less than the new ones or anything like that.
Rescue animals make the best pets. We got one from Dante's Den, and he is just the most wonderful little dog, and he gets better and better every day. He had a tough start in life, so it's been a pleasure to bring him into reality.
Absolutely, it's a great option, and everyone out there for sure.
We've got a lot of thunder and lightning, maybe more this evening. We'll look at that on radar in a minute. But right now, from our KCK webcam, what a beautiful day it was until the thunder and lightning started to come about. Didn't hit the beaches so much as it did inland areas, but look out there in the distance. There were some storms offshore, but they dissipated as they approached the coast late in the afternoon. Currently at the airport, it's 86 degrees. The dew point is 72. Moist, but it could be worse. Our humidity 63%, and with a southeast wind. Our high and low, you see 91 and 78 respectively, a little warmer than normal on both counts. And if we take a look at the satellite showing the storms offshore just beginning to dissipate, they had a lot of lightning out there too, and there's the sea breeze front and another one coming back that could nail us this evening. On radar we can see down to the south of us. It was around Fort Myers earlier. Those storms are going to be moving north and over Charlotte County right now, approaching southern Sarasota County. But here's the sea breeze front that came in about 2 o'clock this afternoon, threw down a lot of lightning, very loud rumbling of thunder. I'm sure most of you heard at least some of that thunder as this moved inland and dissipated. But it's this area to the south that has my attention right now, moving up from Fort Myers, Lee County into Charlotte. It could bring us some evening thunderstorms, so if you're going out, take your umbrella, you may need it. It's cool up in the north. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s for overnight lows tonight across the Ohio Valley northward, because the jet stream has dipped down from Canada, bringing a parcel of cool air, and it's a very cool and damp weekend across the Great Lakes around these storms coming in around the backside of that low pressure over the lower Hudson Valley. Now let's take a look at the tropics, and boy, things are heating up as a result of a weakening of tropical wind shear, which happens this time of year, not only in the Caribbean, but in parts of the Atlantic. And we have one area we'll talk about in a minute in the Atlantic, but this one right here, swirling through the central Caribbean, has a 60% chance of developing in the next 5 days, according to the National Hurricane Center. They've dubbed it Invest 90L with 30-mile-an-hour winds. And if we look at the spaghetti plot, it's forecast to brush the coast of Central America and then approach the Yucatan Peninsula by late Monday. We have a forecast that goes beyond that from the GFS model, showing that once it moves over the Yucatan Peninsula, if it does that, it could develop into a tropical storm by Wednesday afternoon or earlier. But it's predicted to wash out over the high terrain of northeastern Mexico, should not affect the United States. We'll watch it, but it looks like it's not going to be a problem for us. This could be something else. We've been watching this for about 3 or 4 days, right in the middle of the Atlantic. It is Invest 99L. It has 30-mile-an-hour winds and a 50% chance of developing over the next 5 days. And here's the spaghetti plot showing it. If it stays over the Antilles, the greater Antilles, it would inhibit its development, but a little further north, it could come through the Gulf, the Strait, or in the Caribbean. It could affect the United States. We will keep a very close eye on this one over the next several days. Here's our forecast through tonight. Once those storms pass us in the evening hours, tomorrow, hardly any chance of rain all day long, and then in the evening there's a chance of it coming back into early Monday. And Monday looks like we'll have a greater chance of rain. Let's take a look at our 7-day outlook. Only a 10% chance of rain tomorrow during the day, and then a 40 to 50% chance on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That's our weather, Adam.
Now, sports.
Well, high school football season's right around the corner, and on Saturday, the Palmetto Tigers held a media day to take pictures but also discuss the upcoming season. The Tigers finished 3-2 in the very competitive 7A District 11. 7 starters will be coming back on this year on the defensive side of the ball. And as for offense that struggled to score in 2016, senior Jason Spicer Jr. will be moving back to wide receiver after stepping in at quarterback the previous year. Spicer says he's excited about the move and the team's revamped offensive philosophy.
The tempo, it's a lot of more like hurry up, RPO looks.
they're going to have me like in a slide out wide, so they're going to be moving me around a lot.
We felt like if we can develop some younger quarterbacks, that we would be able to move him back out to receiver, which would open up more of the field for us to attack on offense.
The Tigers are also looking forward to Florida's new playoff format based on strength of schedule, which will mean more than 2 teams from a district could possibly end up in the postseason. The Miami Dolphins may have lost their quarterback for the year. Head coach Adam Gase says knee surgery is an option for Ryan Tannehill, a decision that will likely sideline him for the upcoming season. Tannehill missed the last 4 games of 2016 with a hurt left knee, which he re-injured in practice on Thursday. Second stringer Matt Moore went 2-1 after replacing Tannehill as a starter last year, but the team has also reportedly contacted free agent Jay Cutler, who was released by the Chicago Bears back in March. Well, tonight was the last chance to see lightning strike on the track. Usain Bolt running the final 100-meter race of his storied career at the World Championships in London. The Jamaican and his American rival Justin Gatlin both in that final on Saturday night. And to everyone's surprise, it was Gatlin. Take another look, who comes away with the victory, beating the Olympic legend by 0.3 of a second and winning gold at the Worlds. Well, after 3 straight wins against the best team in the American League, the Rays suffered a frustrating loss back at home on Friday against the Milwaukee Brewers. Tampa Bay returns Saturday night to try and avenge that loss. Alex Cobb looking for his 10th win of the season, and the score in that game is currently 0-0 in the bottom of the second. And speaking of baseball, Yu Darvish is adjusting well to the West Coast. The former Texas Ranger pitcher striking out 10 batters during his first game in a Dodger uniform Friday night, his 5th double-digit strikeout performance of the season. The Dodgers would shut out the New York Mets 6-0 on Friday, and their 77-32 record remains the best in baseball. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
If you're thinking about replacing your windows, what matters most to you? We found what matters is high performance. Our customers want energy-efficient windows built for Florida weather. Windows that can stand everything from scorching sun to hurricanes. Our customers want windows that reflect their life, their lifestyle. Windows that will last a lifetime. We listen to our customers, and as a result, we're growing. So if you're looking to replace your windows, stop here at New South Window.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
Call to see if you qualify to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan right now. At Humana, we believe great things are ahead of you when you start with healthy. And part of staying healthy means choosing the right Medicare plan. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you're covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits when you're sick, but keep in mind you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and coinsurance, but you may pay higher premiums than you do with other plans, and prescription drug coverage isn't included. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. It's all described in this free book and DVD. Call for yours and discover how an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana could save you money. Call 1-844-328-2700.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom,
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Start your day with a new Good Morning Suncoast team. Weekdays starting at 5 a.m.
Welcome back. The world's largest bounce house is open for business and looking to travel the country. Big Bounce, America's giant inflatable complex, opened up for its first day of fun Friday in Wisconsin. It's 32 feet high and 10,000 square feet. It's a castle featuring slides and an obstacle course and also basketball hoops, though there's no word yet on when this attraction will be heading to Florida. That's a shame for myself. Millions of people across the U.S. are already making plans to watch a solar eclipse that will be giving our nation a rare sight, the first full solar eclipse in nearly a century to stretch coast to coast. It will also be the first in the lower 48 states in 38 years. The sun, moon, and earth will line up perfectly that Monday, turning day into night for a few minutes from Oregon to South Carolina. The total eclipse will last 1.5 hours on August 21st.
Well, I'm going to be up in northern Tennessee, just outside of Nashville, and John Scalzi is going to be in South Carolina. So hopefully it'll be sunny there. But if you're staying here, this is what it's going to look like. About 80% coverage, and about 10 minutes before 3 on Monday, August 21st, the greatest bite of the sun will be taken out by the shadow of the moon, or the moon pass over it. So that's what it'll look like.